Oh my god. This is really bad. Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back. So today I'm back with another sex secrets, sex confessions. You guys know the drill by now. I made myself a cheeky little iced coffee, so if you can hear ice clinking, it is absolutely delicious. But I checked back and it's been 7 months since I last done one of these. That is not okay. That is ridiculous. So I said I need to get my iced coffee. I need to sit down with my girls and we need to have a little chat. So I got you guys to send in your confessions over on Instagram, as I always do, so make sure you're following me over there if you've got some secrets you want to spill. And this time it was completely anonymous because I used that app that I was telling you guys about in the girl talk. But as you guys also know, this video is demonetized. YouTube hates sex. YouTube especially hates me talking about sex. I swear my channel has been shadow banned in some form because of the topics I have spoken about throughout the years. I keep getting messages and comments from you guys saying that my videos aren't showing up in your subscription box and you're recommended, you're not getting notified even though you have the notification bell turned on and all. Any engagement is highly appreciated. A comment, a like, sharing it with a friend, whatever it is, I appreciate it so much, just so we can give these videos a little push because YouTube is not backing me. YouTube has ghosted me. I'm like YouTube's annoying little girlfriend and I'm like, I know all the things that piss you off and I'm going to do every single one. I was going to say let's start off light, let's like ease our way into this, but it's literally impossible with you lot. Like there is very rarely a tame confession. Like they're all just like hell for leather, like straight in there. Okay, we might as well just dive straight on in. So I got my bullet vibrator stuck in my anus before. I just love how you called it your anus. Like I've never heard anyone refer to it in such a casual way as their anus. Like my asshole, like my bum, like no. Full on gone, disappeared. Thankfully my boyfriend was supportive while I went and fished it out. We're engaged now. So awkward. My neighbour across the road is just standing at her front door and she's staring directly into this room and I'm just like, if only you knew what I was talking about. And she's like a 70-something-year-old woman and I feel really uncomfortable right now. But I love how he was like, baby, I love you so much, but this is not my job, this is not my problem. I will stand here and wave you on and give you the encouragement, but you're gonna have to fish that out for yourself. Also love how you guys are engaged now. Like true love at its absolute finest. If my mum was aware of how many times I have accepted her phone call and chatted with her while getting banged from behind. My boyfriend finds it hilarious seeing how many different places he can secretly tell me to sit on his face without everyone else in the room hearing. I love them cheeky little remarks between you and your partner, especially when you're out. Like it's just so inappropriate. I feel like you should start doing that to him. Like you should start making him hard when you're out and see how he likes it, because at least you can hide it. Give him a little comment and see how he gets on waddling from his seat to the bathroom. Fucking hell, thinks he's being cheeky. I'll show you cheeky. 4 days after getting my appendix out, I had sex with my boyfriend gently, and for a moment it made all my pain and discomfort go away. Now we call it anesthetic dick. Get out! That is the best thing I've ever heard. That is amazing. I just wasn't expecting that whatsoever. I'm sick. Can I have some anesthetic dick? Oh my god. This is really bad. I have sex with my best friend when our boyfriends are away working. We're both straight, but we have needs. And the little manicure emoji. Okay, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but neither of you are straight. There is no way you are straight. Do what you will with that information, but if you're telling yourselves you are straight and that makes you feel like you're not cheating, it's not true. Yous are both cheating on your boyfriends. It also annoys me though, because this kind of shit is what gives bisexuals a really bad rep. Because this is the kind of shit that people say bisexuals do and will do and, you know, whatever. So, not good enough. Don't be giving us a bad rep and you're over there saying you're straight. Darling, not straight. and you're really not doing us any favours here with the stereotypes. Me and my bestie got too drunk on a girls' trip and we ended up performing oral sex on each other. We never talked about it, but at least now I know I'm 100% not into girls. See, this is what you call not straight. If you did it and it was just not a bit of you, that's how you know you're not straight. But if you've done it and you keep going back for seconds and thirds and fourths and fifths and you're nearly excited for when your boyfriend's going away because it means you get to be with your best friend, not straight. This girlie, she's straight as a goddamn pole. You know, she did a little bit of an experimentation and realised it wasn't for her. But you would not get her going back for seconds. Only us bi girls. Or if you're fully gay, maybe, but if you're with your boyfriend. But you could also be with your boyfriend if you haven't come to the realisation yet, or you're in denial, you haven't accepted it, but you're probably bisexual. I once masturbated in the living room when I was watching a movie with my parents. I was in a different sofa and it was completely dark and hormones were overwhelming. Still ashamed, it's been 13 plus years and hope they didn't notice anything. Get out. I don't think it's that to be ashamed about. You were 13 years of age. You didn't know any better. Like, as you said, hormones were overwhelming. Like, puberty at that age, it's so intense. It's fucking insane. And we've all done some weird shit as children, as young teenagers, you know. The fact that you're still ashamed means it's something that you're still thinking about and it's something that you're still carrying around. But yeah, I feel like you'd be better just accepting that happened and forgiving yourself. You were a child. Like, you were literally a child. And if you forgive yourself, then you won't be ashamed anymore. Like, carrying shame around with you, it's one of the worst things we can do in this world. And a lot of the time, like, it's not necessary. Like, especially if you were a bloody child, like, and even in our adult life, like, if we're carrying shame around with us, like, we really have to ask ourselves the deeper question of why. Like, why am I so ashamed about this, you know? But let it go, okay? You lived and you learned and you conquered. You came. I once slept with 2 men in one day. Now that my mental health is much better, I regret this massively. Whoa, my phone nearly fell, sorry. I totally understand the fact that you're saying you regret it, because probably now that you're in a better place, it doesn't align with who you are, or your morals or your values or whatever it may be. But like, I don't think that there's any point in holding on to something like that and regretting it, because all it does is eat you up inside. And you did that, it happened, and you learned from it. And there's no point in regretting something that you learned from. Like, you were in a bad mental place, whatever the circumstances surrounding you doing that, and you realise that that's not something you want to do again. And if anything, that's a positive thing. Like, try and flip it on its head and look at the positives. Be like, what did I learn from this? What do I now know that I wouldn't have known? I could have done this, like, you know, another 10 years down the line, and it probably would have affected me worse then if I hadn't learned it at that time. Do you know what I mean? So if you just kind of look at things in a different light. But also, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, lots of people do that all the time. And again, if that's something that they want to do and they're happy to do and that aligns with their morals and values, great. But just because you did it and it wasn't for you, it doesn't mean you need to hold that with you, you know, and carry that around with you now. Again, like I was saying before, I think you need to come to terms with it and take what you've learned from it and forgive yourself. Like, you know, you really have to forgive yourself. There's no point in beating yourself up. And especially if you're in a better mental headspace, I'm sure you know that yourself. We all do things throughout our life that we wish we wouldn't as we get older, and we look back in hindsight and we're like, if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have done that, blah, blah, blah. But you didn't. You didn't know then what you know now. You weren't who you are now back then. And another thing I've seen recently, is actually going around TikTok, you probably have seen it, but it's like, the way to start looking at things in life going forward is viewing as it's for the plot. You lose your job, it's for the plot. You get your heart broken, it's for the plot, because no good film is just full of highs. It's full of highs and lows. And I thought it was like a really interesting, light-hearted way of kind of looking at things, to just stop taking things so deeply, so to heart, so seriously, and like realize that like life is a series of ups and downs. Life is a series of unfortunate events, and life is a series of a bunch of things that happen to us that we really wish didn't. But when you can sit back and if you can go, it's for the plot. I literally did it yesterday and I was just like, there's literally nothing I could do about this. What's happened has happened. What's going to happen is going to happen. Only so much is in my control here. It's for the goddamn plot, my darling. That day that you slept with 2 men has helped evolve you to who you are now. And it's all for the plot, because the path you're going down now wouldn't have happened without all these things happening to you. You know what I mean? And now I'm not talking about this for like really traumatic experiences or, you know what I'm saying. Like it's a really like silly, lighthearted way of looking at things. But I feel like depending on the situation, like it can be helpful. Because no matter our age, no matter what part or area of life we're in, it's constantly going to be going up and down. Like that is life. Like we only have to look at our grandparents, you know, the eldest generation that we know, and we see that ourselves. It's not going to slow down. It's not going to stop. It's not going to get any easier. You just learn to cope with things better, learn to deal with things better. Why has this sex confessions video turned into me ranting and raving about regrets? I just don't even understand how I get on these tangents. I was having sex, losing my V card, losing her V card, and the guy's dog decided to jump on the bed and started licking places no dog should go near before we swiftly removed him and he ate my clothes instead. The dog. I love how you had to preface that the guy you were losing your virginity to wasn't the guy who ate your clothes. And also, are you telling me that the first person to ever give you oral sex was a dog? Like losing your virginity. Like, how unlucky do you have to be? Last year I did so many blowjobs that every time I did it I got tonsillitis, and now I have to be super careful. First of all, I just want to say, I hope you're not sucking these guys' dicks and they're not giving you anything. Like, absolutely not. Fuck that. Fuck that. Like, you're absolutely mad if you are going around pleasing a bunch of men and you're just walking away with tonsillitis. Like, you deserve a lot better than that. And I also didn't know that, like, what exactly of a blowjob gives you tonsillitis? Because I've never had tonsillitis. That's gonna be my Google search after I finish filming this video. How does blowjobs cause tonsillitis? I'm bi and in an emotionally and sexually happy relationship with a man for 4.5 years now, but I think about sex with my ex-girlfriend almost every day. It was hot. H-A-W-T. Hot. I wonder, are you saying that you've been thinking about her for the whole 4.5 years? Or have you only started thinking about her recently? Because if you've only started thinking about her recently, I'd say, is there something small that is lacking that you miss that you had with her that you don't have with him? Is there something there that keeps bringing your mind back to it? I actually think I'm going to get sick. For months, me and my ex were using a sex toy. I thought he'd bought us it. Turns out it was his mum's. It was his mother's. I actually think I'm gonna get sick. I want to know, like, oh my god, because like the only justification for this I can see is that he went into her room and he found the vibrator in her drawer and took it into his room, knowing full well it was his. You don't find a vibrator in the house and go, oh, first come, first serve. Like, if you find a sex toy, it's somebody's. He obviously knew it was his mother's and he let you use it. And you thought he bought it for you. You actually just couldn't make this shit up. You could not make this stuff up if you tried. I'd love to know your reaction when you found that out. Oh my god, I would have been like a bull to a red flag. Once I was drunk at a party after drinking a whole bottle of Prosecco by myself, and so I tried to kiss the guy I was in love with. When he rejected me, I moved on to another friend of mine. The brutalness. Yeah, so when he rejected me, I just moved on to the next one. Thank you. Next. Right, when he rejected me, I moved on to another friend of mine and touched his dick over his pants. He told me, stop touching my dick, so I started crying, telling him that he didn't want me because I was ugly. He hugged me and said it wasn't true, but I had to get my shit together. I was comforted and told him he was like the father I never had. Most embarrassing night of my whole life. Oh, Prosecco is deadly. Them little bubbles. I don't know what's in them little bubbles, but they are lethal. Oh my god, like I remember having like a couple glasses of Prosecco before and you do feel like you are flying. There's just so many parts to this that I just can't even imagine how you felt waking up the next morning. And I'd love to know, did you remember all this or was it relayed back to you? Because there's nothing worse than that, like waking up and being like, oh, I actually didn't do that last night. But come to find out that you were so drunk that you actually don't remember anything you did. And then people start relaying back to you what you did and you start getting flashbacks. I can't even imagine how you felt if that was the situation. Girl, you need to lock yourself in a padded room. No Prosecco outside the padded locked door, okay? Keep you in it. These are absolutely amazing. These are so funny. Slept with my housemate. No regrets, but so many regrets. I think we can all relate to that at some point or another. No regrets, but so many fucking regrets in the same breath. Started working a new job. A co-worker was leaving the job, so we had a one night stand on his last night. Flash forward. Why? Right, you're out here, so before you're out here, I just gotta sit on that real quick, you know, just because I'm never gonna get a chance to do it again. I just love it. It was his last night, so we had sex. Flash forward a few weeks, and myself and another co-worker had sex. Heat of the moment vibes. I'm well aware it's a big no-no as it is. Little did I know they were best friends outside of work. Oh my god, no. Oh look, it's not that bad, is it? You didn't know. He didn't know. Look, yous are all just none the wiser. It's for the plot. It is for the plot. How fucking good of a plot is that in a movie? Like, that's the bit of the movie where you get to, you're like, no way. For the plot, my darling. One time I was a bit annoyed at this guy I was dating. I made him sweat by telling him my period was late, even though that was a huge lie. I just want to know, like, was it justified? Like, what did he do? Did he do something really bad? Like, you said that you were annoyed with him. What did he do? Like, was it warranted? Or do you think he took it a little bit too far? I was at an isle in the Caribbean holidays and we went salsa dancing at the beach. There was a local guy who hit on me and he was quite hot, so we danced and landed in his bedroom. So we danced and just happened to stumble upon his bedroom. But in the end, it wasn't as good as it anticipated, to be honest. Oh, see, that's the thing. I feel like that, like, one night stands in general, there's so much anticipation built up. But for the most part, they're just normally quite shit because it's like, it's literally you and a stranger going to do the most intimate thing we can do as human beings. You just don't know the first thing about each other, the first thing about each other's bodies. Then if you want to throw in like alcohol or a substance, there's that whole thing where you're just all over the place. You're not even thinking rationally. Like, I just feel like with one night stands, thinking about it is a lot better than actually doing it most of the time. Like, I very rarely hear of people being like, I had the best one night stand ever. It's normally that was shit, or like, it was alright, but like, why? I once had sex with my tampon still in. He was a pretty small guy, so as much as it was a slightly odd sensation, just a slightly odd sensation, you know, tampon, a little dick up there. I still couldn't figure out why it felt so strange and didn't realise until after when we went for the clean up. Oh my god, I thought you like did this on purpose, so you fully didn't know. Later on he said the top of his penis was sore. Imagine going to like clean up after sex and you just spot the string and you're just like, oh no. I drank a whole bottle of vodka and found out my best friend was talking shit about me. I went to my best friend's ex. Okay, so her best friend was talking shit about her and she went to talk to her best friend's ex-boyfriend about it because she was not having any of it. So I went to him for comfort. I don't remember clearly, but we had sex even though they had only broken up a few days before. She still doesn't know. Biggest regret. Oh my God. Yeah, I feel ya. That is bad, isn't it? That's really bad. I feel like you should tell her. I don't know. I just feel like something like that could come out down the line. And if that comes from someone else, she will never want to do with you ever again. Because it's one thing doing something, but then there's another thing to actively keep it from the person. And I just feel like that is so much worse every time. Like, I would so much rather my best friend come to me and tell me she slept with my ex than doing it and actively keeping it from me and keeping that up for a very long time. And then if I ever found out, I would never be able to trust her. I wouldn't be able to trust her as far as I'd be able to fucking throw her. And you think I can throw very far with these muscles? Me and my ex-boyfriend cheated on each other with the same girl who also happened to be my best friend at the time. Well, she is getting some, isn't she? He's cheated on each other with the same girl. I've just realised that I've already been filming for an hour and I don't want this video to be like 40 minutes long because it's literally sex confessions. I don't think anyone would want to watch a 40-minute video on sex confessions. But I will make sure to do another one of these a lot sooner than in 7 months' time. And make sure you're following me over on Instagram if you do have any secrets. I honestly fucking adore these videos. I think I started these in 2020 during lockdown. And I remember so vividly starting this series and I just love it so much, you know. And it's 2022, carrying it into our 3rd year. Let's keep this one rolling. I love having little series that we do on the channel, you know, and I know so many of you guys love these videos as well. They're so lighthearted, and I know a lot of my videos on my channel, you know, mightn't be so lighthearted, or they're a bit more serious or a bit more intense. So it's nice to like throw in these fun, lighthearted videos as well, and like kind of have a bit of a mixture of everything going on. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this. It definitely cheered me up. It gave me many a bloody giggle that I needed today. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sending in your secrets, and I love you all so very much, and I'll see you all super duper soon. Bye my friends.